Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing our single player playthrough. So, just gonna get hopped right on into it. We've got a lot to do today. It is going to be very miserable. I'm probably gonna spend like 6 hours doing it, but yeah. So, if you weren't here last time, we had gotten the copper ingots being made, and you might think, well, that's not a whole lot to be getting done with. Well, considering it took me like 3 hours to do so. No, we spent about half of the episode talking about a duplication glitch that I used to get myself a bunch of summer sloops. That was fun. But yeah, we also had problems with this system, but we got it all fixed. We also spent part of the episode upgrading all of the miners to Mark V. Yeah, I still spent about 3 hours on the episode, but yeah, it was in different areas, of course. And we're probably still running out of bauxite, if I had to guess. Oh no, we're running out of water now. Why is it? Something's not working right. The water's not. Oh, it's the alumina solution. Okay, alumina solution's back up. Alright. And this one's now full of water again. Huh. I'm having water issues. I don't think I'm getting enough water on some of these. All of these have their own dedicated pipes, so we don't have to worry about splitting, which can cause issues when you have as high as a volume as we're trying to use here. Even if you have like a Mark II pipe with 600, you're always with a splitter between 3 machines. You're always dealing with this issue of that first machine's going to take all the water it can as fast as it can, because it can, and then the next one's going to take as fast as it can as well, but it's going to be slower, and that's just how that goes. Yeah, why are we running out of water? Are we? You know what it might be? It might be the train station running out of water. That's a very good possibility. I have pumps going all the way up here, and I know the pressure's good because I've watched the system run really well. So I'm wondering if it might be a water issue. Now the water, I might be able to put a second train on if that is the issue. If we're just running out of water. Yeah, see, some of these are turning yellow, which either means the pressure is up to its maximum. Let's wait for one of these to turn yellow here. There we go. Oh, pressure is maxed. Interesting. Okay. Now we don't need lights in here anyway. Let's go check that out. Down we go. Okay. Now we're not running out of... At least that one's not out of water. No. We might have to let a little bit more through. Just ever so slightly. Let's see, how balanced are we? We're still pretty balanced. We'll see by the time the bauxite comes back, but... Yeah, I mean... We're still relatively balanced when it comes to... Is that the bauxite train already? Yeah. I mean, the end is empty, so we're not... we ran out. Yeah, yeah, we're still not pulling enough bauxite, I bet. I mean, I know we're not, but, I mean, like... I'm just wondering if another train would be worth it. Probably not, because we're just not... We know we're not pulling in enough. Yeah, and this just can't keep up. Eventually, this system's going to be completely empty. That's eventually what's going to happen here. But we seem to be stable as far as water is concerned. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just a matter of just need to open up the valve a little more. Because right now we're working off of exact numbers, which should be good, but it doesn't seem to be holding. At least not exactly. But if I open that up to 1 extra, I'm wondering if that would probably hydrolock the system at some point. But that's what I'm thinking. Since these keep running out of water. Yeah, like that one turned yellow for a second. You see, it just can't fill up fast enough sometimes. Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's running out of water. Like it's just ever so slightly not enough somehow. See, how's our water supplies? Like, yeah, water should be good. So that's keeping pressure. Of course, it might not be a bad thing to put like a pump going this way too, to kind of keep that pressure going. It should be high pressure. This should be maximum filled, which it is. I'm just wondering if it's trying to backfill a little bit too. No, I need that. So yeah, it might be worth putting valves on the rest of this. The valve just being a one-way. Oops. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I might just throw a valve on these. And it'll probably fix the issue, because I bet what's trying to happen is this pipe's not 100% staying full all the time. Past this basically, I'm using it as a merger. Past this junction. And sometimes this exact number of 80 water is being pushed backwards a little bit, which is causing the machine to not get the water it needs at the exact moment. Like for the most of the time it's okay, but for right now it's not. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we throw a valve on this, that'll probably fix it. Yeah, you can see the flow now being pushed into this valve here, or into this junction. So yeah, it's not quite staying full, so I'm wondering if... Oh, there we go. I'm getting some higher rates. Yeah, I might do that. We'll see what happens here. But also, yeah, like I said, we got a lot of work to do, so better get to it. Okay, so, yep. Found another issue with my design, and I thought there would be enough belt length to keep it from happening, but it did not. So basically what was happening was, when the train station was unloading, these belts would be completely full all the way up until the train was finished unloading. By the time the train finished, these belts have actually ran out enough to where... Now, these belts are long enough to where it doesn't always cause a problem, but sometimes it takes just enough to empty out the machine before they finally get back here to fill the belt back up. It's just like the machine just runs out and stops for a few seconds because it's out of bauxite. And it was happening with the coal as well. The coal had the same issue because the coal is actually much shorter than the bauxite, so it was happening more often with the coal that the aluminum scrap would just stop working because it had no coal. So I have employed a design. It's a little bit messy, but I did try to keep it as clean as I could with the space given, because I am in a very tight space here. So I decided to use industrial storage crates, because obviously you got 2 inputs, 2 outputs, and I needed 6 belts, and 6 containers side by side would not have worked. So I was just like, I don't want to really stack containers. It's like, I'll just use the industrial ones, it's fine. As you can see, the belts kind of wiggle their way into these containers. And then these things don't even unload to 3/4 full Like, they don't even get to the point where these containers are 3/4 full before the train is done. So it's not a small buffer, I know, but like I said, using single containers would have been a disaster for space, or putting them on top of one another wouldn't have made a difference anyway. That would have been just more for me to place. So it's just like, yeah, you know what? I'll just throw up. That really is a big issue, but yeah. So the coal and the bauxite now have this buffer. So yeah, just something that I gotta remember in the future, that it doesn't matter how long your belt is, you're gonna end up with a gap in efficiency every time that train unloads. So we need to be putting. Now, it'd be really nice if the train station would continue to work while the train was loading or unloading, because it shouldn't matter, in my opinion. Like, there should not matter if the train is loading, unloading. It should always work. Now, in Factorio, you unload from the train directly. There's a train station, but there's no actual train station that unloads the cargo. There's you just put arms up there to unload from the car train directly. So what you do is, between trips, because there isn't a buffer there like there is in this game where you have a big train station full of material, people would put like boxes and stuff. So yeah, so it's not an issue in Factorio, but it's definitely an issue here, that when the train is loading or unloading, all stuff cease to function. Now, water's not going to be an issue with that, because we're not pumping. This pipe network looks crazy and menacing. You think I'm pumping thousands and thousands of gallons of water a minute, but no, I'm not pumping. I'm pumping actually very little. Like, we could have done it with all Mark 1 pipes, but I like the Mark 2s better. Yeah. So that's just the way that works. Plus, eventually we are going to need to use more water anyway when we inevitably overclock this factory. Yeah, so that was just a bit of an issue I was having as well. I was trying to figure out some of the issues I was having, and well, that's one of them. So anyway, now today's plan, now that we finally got around to it, is to actually we need to hook up the aluminum scrap to all of these smelters. All of these smelters need aluminum scrap, and they need a lot of it too. Each one of these aluminum ingots needs 60 scrap per machine. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to figure out how many machines can we put on a belt, and can we do it efficiently enough to where it's not a big old spaghetti mess downstairs, because down below is our logistics floor, and it's always good to do a logistics floor, in my opinion, anyway. Depends on what you like and what you think works and looks good, but logistics floors are like, they're like the bread to my butter, essentially. Or the butter to my bread. There we go. I messed up the one-liner. It doesn't matter. The bread to my butter. Yes, because I eat just loaves of butter, and every now and again I decide to add some bread to it. That just tickles me right there. Anyway, so yeah, we need to figure out how many of these smelters we can fit on one single bolt. So 60. You know what I should have said? I should have said they're they're the bread and butter of great factory builds is logistics floors. Unless you can make the production and the logistics floor combine and look good, which can be done. It just takes a lot more work and a lot more space. But it can be done. I've done it. So, actually, 780 divided by 60. 13 machines. Okay. So we're in lines of 8. How many machines do we have? We have 13 machines making aluminum scrap, right? Wait. 13 machines making aluminum scrap. We could fit 13 machines. That's weird. How did that math work out like that? It doesn't work out good. It just works out weird that it's just to the enough of... Yeah, and these ones need 120, so this like 4 in the middle is like its own little deal there. Man, how am I gonna make that work? Well, how much aluminum scrap times 8? So 60 times 8, 480. So Mark IV belt essentially for that, but I'm not gonna be using. I'm gonna use a Mark V only. This is gonna take a little bit of math. Okay. So we can do this. We can actually make it. We can't do 2 lines though. That's the thing. Is we can't do 2 lines of machines because that's 16 machines and we can only do 13 with 780. Oh, that just doesn't work out very well, does it? Yeah, and 16, 17, 18 along this line because there's 8 on that side, 8 on that side, plus the 2 in the middle. Oh, this is gonna be a mess. We have 13 machines. How many lines of smelters do we have? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we got 7, 8, 9. Presumably 10. We could potentially do 1 machine per line of machines. And then split off the access into the next one. And then split off the access into the next one. Oh man, that'd be difficult though. That would be very difficult. Wait, so each machine pushes out how much scrap? It's like, it's 360, isn't it? Actually, I can check that right here. Aluminum scrappo. You push out 360, yep. So 360. And how much do we need per line? 60 times 8. Okay, so we need more than that. Okay, so 1 machine per line isn't going to work. Ugh. Damn it. What's 360? 360 times 2. That's 720, so that's almost a belt. So if we combine 2 of the machines, we have 1 left over, so we have 13. We have an odd number. This is going to plague me. This is going to be the bane of my existence right here. There is no... I don't see any logical way of making this work nicely. It looks like we're going to be doing a balancing act. Which... kind of expected, but at the same time I'm just like, man, the heck. Okay. So if we have 13, if we do 12, that's going to be 6 belts. So we have 6 belts altogether, right? If we have 6 belts altogether, then we're going to have to do... Yeah, it's going to be a very weird balancing act. Ugh. I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it here. Ugh. This is not fun. I'm going to be spending hours doing this. I did not build this nicely. But yeah, this is basically what we're shooting for. So this is going to be the splitter merger system, essentially. This is the cleanest way. And then we can have multiple levels of balancing if we need. We'll figure it out, though. We'll figure it out. Alrighty, then. Guess we get to work. Okay. Okay. There we go.
Man, just cannot talk correctly today, can I? My brain is like, nope. Sorry, I'm at. I went on break permanently. Anyway, so I kind of figured out exactly how I'm gonna do this. I was just like, okay, well, how many machines can I actually power with one machine? How many smelters can I do? Which, if we take the 360 divided by 60, it is 6 machines. Exactly. So if we put one machine every 6 machines, like one refinery every 6 smelters, then we don't have to worry about balancing. The only thing and we've got plenty of space, so running 13 belts is not a problem. At all, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna merge anything if I can avoid it, because then I don't have to rebalance. Yeah, see, look. The train station is loading, and the belts are completely empty of bauxite. But we have that massive storage crate, so that'll keep that from being a problem. All right. And the storage crates do fill up faster than we can pull out of them, so it's the buffer's working like it should. Anyway, so I'm going to do 6 belts here, or 6 belts, 6 machines. So we've got 2 input belts here going to our smelters, and then we've got 2 more input belts for the last 2 machines in the line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these around. These are the output belts, or output ports. I'm going to bring these around and go back into these 2, and then we'll have 4. And then what I'll do is we'll have an extra splitter, because this will become a main line. This will be an extra splitter, or 2 splitters, I should say. An extra 2 splitters, which will then go into these splitters, and then we'll run to this line as well, and kind of so on like that. And that should cover this entire side of the room. We'll do the same on the opposite side as well. The opposite side of the factory, and then of course we got to serve the middle for at the very last, and we'll see what we can do there, but this should work. This should definitely work, or at least come close to working. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's going to take me a couple of hours at the very least to make this happen, so yeah, I'll get back to it, and then we'll see what we can accomplish today. I think. Hopefully we'll have this hopefully we'll have this portion of it working, because man, this has taken a while, many hours. All right, let's do it. Alrighty, I've already spent like 2 or 3 hours, kind of planning all this out, but I think I got it done. Not completely, obviously, but yeah, spent about 2 hours doing this or so. Plus I did something else with the spiral staircase in the centers, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. But so the way these are going to go is all of our belts are going to be coming in along this wall, and then they're going to spread out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we've got, I think, 9, 10, 11, and then we've got 1 more belt for the center piece. I did have to do some kind of recalculations on the amount of bauxite and stuff I needed, because we weren't, the number wasn't correct on the sign, and that was my bad. As well as the belt that's for these is going to be coming in from over here. Yeah, we'll have it come in. Oh no, it's going to be coming in from this end. Right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, we'll have it coming from in there. And then what we'll do is we'll split it to this, and then split it to that, and then split it to that. And what we could do is have it do a circle. Okay, so basically the way it would work is you got your scrap coming in here, to this one, and then to this one. So it just goes zip. That's all it needs to do. It's just those 4. Now you're just like, wait a minute, that's not enough for a machine. Machine spits out 360. and 60 is 64. 60 times 4 is only 240. Well, actually, we've got 3 of them that are overclocked fully, so we actually are not fully overclocked, but 2 times overclocked, which means it's basically counted as 2 machines essentially, because it's dual. So we've got so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 60 times 6 would be 360. So at the 360 plus another 60 because it's just a normal machine, which is 420. Blaze it. But yeah, so I had to recalculate out how much aluminum scrap I was going to be producing, which means I needed to slightly. I was going to put in a 14th machine, but I thought that wasn't necessary just because I just needed to overclock it from 360 to 420, and with that 420, that's less than a single overclocking core. That's like it's like a half or less than half or something like that. It's very low. We just needed to produce a slightly bit more, so we upped the aluminum scrap, which means that that corresponding machine that did the alumina solution needed to be upped as well with the exact amount as well, which means we needed to up one of the valves for the water to bring in, instead of bringing in 80, it's now bringing in 94, and so on. So we just had to do some tweaks. And whatnot, so that made that work. And then yeah, so we'll bring in a last belt, but this last belt that's going to this 4 centers right here, that's kind of all by itself, is this one needs to be done first because I need to put that on that exact machine. There's no other machines that'll allow me to put that on there, so yeah, so we have to do this one first. But first of all, let's go ahead and get that belt done just real quick, like. So it's right here, right? And then 1, 2, that puts it there. So then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I remember correctly. And that'll put the belt lift right at the. No, that's way too far. What? Maybe I miscalculated. Obviously I did, but okay. Then we just go along and we just put these every other these, just to put in some belt support here. Like I said, this belt has to be done first. But it looks like, yes, we are going to get this done today. It's just going to take forever. It's extremely tedious and boring, so I tend to cut that stuff out. Just because, well, it's tedious and boring. To get that all hooked up and ready. Okay, so there's our belt for the ones we need for fur 20. For fur tourney. Sorry, I'm a redneck. I tend to not pronunciate my words correctly. Stuff like that. Anyway. Okay, so we need to go up. Yeah, see, staircase now got the strip lighting in it. So we actually got some lights. It's not perfect. When I turn off the flashlight, you can see these corners are a little dark, but I thought it'd be better than trying to spiral up lights on the outside, which would have looked much worse. Okay. But yeah, if we go to this side, as you can see... Ooh, that one was yellow for a second. What do we got going on there? Guys, like, they should never run out of coal now. They're running out of alumina solution, which might mean we need slightly more water. Yeah, see how this is idle? All of a sudden, yep. Okay, so I need to up the water that's coming in ever so slightly. It's not quite, we can't run in quite exact numbers. We'll take care of that in a minute, but yeah, as I was saying, on this end machine over here,
is producing. See, this one needs 280 aluminum scrap, and it runs out of aluminum scrap fairly quickly. Or aluminum solution, sorry. And then it gets full again, which I don't understand this system. If the system is full, then all of a sudden it just drains. I mean, I get that this is not producing at the same rate, but this is producing 280, and this needs 280, but it just runs out. Which makes no damn sense. And this is running out of water. So why is that happening? Even though it's exact numbers, like, I mean, the water coming in is we're actually bringing in slightly more water. So I don't know if maybe there's a gap there that's causing that to happen. There might be a water gap, or water gaps. There might be an air gap in there, like an air bubble that's being mulled around, because it's a closed system, so it might be kind of airlocking on itself. Yeah, see, this one as well. This one just turned yellow. And I bet it was because of water. But then immediately, as soon as I go to look at it, it's not working again. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. But yeah, if we go down one level, I was actually playing with this just a little bit, just to kind of get my plan in place, real quick. And is it this way that I was doing? These are all going the wrong way. That side's going the wrong way. I'm gonna have to swap those. But yeah, so over here, to get our aluminum scrap up and over the water pipes, like I said, it's a little bit of a mess, a little bit of a spaghetti mess. Those cables are going to be right, well, actually, they're gonna be clipping into belts, but I don't think it really matters all that much. But yeah, so these belts are gonna go across here. Let's see how it looks. Actually, that's not that bad. I'm actually okay with that. And I'm okay with this, with them poking through. There's nothing I can really do to it. I really can't do a whole lot more with this system, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Bit of a tight knit. And yeah, this one's going through that pipe, I realize that, but again, it's one of those situations where it's like, what can you really do with such a tight space? I mean, I can fiddle around with it for another hour and probably get it to look a little better, but is it really worth that at that point? Okay. That's my question. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 because we have 13 machines. Which means we have 7 on either, or 7 on this side and 6 on the other, so. Alright, so 4, and we want these to make sure we're going the right direction with these. Like I say, I'm doing one machine per belt rather than trying to worry about balancing. If you got the space, always add more belts. if you can add enough belts to keep you from having to balance stuff, oh, it's so nice. Yeah, that's essentially. So I just got to get all of these essentially down there so that these can start making aluminum ingots. That's just how it's gonna have to go. Whew, getting there. It's taking a long time, but I am working through it, getting all my belts and stuff situated and whatnot. So I think I'm gonna bring both of those last 2 belts over here. Yeah, it's looking good though. Looking good. Okay. Getting my aluminum scrap in. I know we're getting close to the end of our episode here very shortly, so we'll try to make this fast. And again, there's going to be some kind of clipping somewhere. I'm just not going to worry about it for right now.
because if I worry about it, then I'm going to end up worrying about it. You know how it goes. Okay, that, yeah, so 1, 2. I think that's what these logistics floors are really for anyway. It's just to kind of hide some of the craziness that goes on. But the cool thing is I don't have to worry about any balancing other than the water balance. I did go ahead and up those, but I found something interesting on one of the valves, and I'll probably show it off a little bit. But one of the valves, when I put them up to, so we go from, if you have it set on 80, it goes to 80.3. And if you set it to 82, it goes to 80.3. If you set it to 83, it goes to 85.5. It's really stupid. It's like, what? Okay then. Whatever. I think we'll just do that. Okay. And then we have our final belt here. Or, sorry, final 2 belts. Oh, whoops. Thought that was odd. I was like, wait a minute, there's supposed to be 2 belts here. So 1, 2. Sorry, I want to put that? Yeah. This straight mode has been helping me out a lot. Making this go a little bit faster. Actually, you know what? We gotta move those. Let's move those over to here instead. Then we'll bring those over with the straight belt. Every 2 all the way to the end. Oh yeah, if you guys have not seen it, I know this is a bit late, but you have not seen it, the Assassin's Creed episodes are in full swing. The Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag episodes. That 11-year-old game is being played in 2024. We're just starting the story, but I need to put more time into it because that series is gonna take a long time to actually do. And I need to figure out how I can upload it in a way that, or export it in a way that makes it so that YouTube doesn't immediately default to the crappy compression, which is upload fast at low quality. And it's like, even though it's 1080p, it is definitely not 1080p. You're maybe, at best, you're maybe looking at 720 quality. Of course, it's going to look good on phones and stuff, but it is not going to look good on a laptop or a computer screen of any kind. It looks good when I export it. It looks good on my computer, but as soon as I upload it, it just goes to crap. So there's got to be a way I can fix that. Almost there, just got to make it to those 2 splitters right there. Okay. So that one's there. Alright. Use straight mode here. Never mind, we have to use normal mode. So, 1, 2. Yep. What the? Oh my gosh, I hate when it does that. It's so stupid. There's no reason for it to do that. The freaking hitboxes on these belts needs adjusted. I've been complaining about that since like update 5, update 6 maybe. It's always been an issue. Anyway, that gets all of our smelters completely hooked up and ready to go. Which is what I wanted to get done today. So, is there anything I need to get rid of? Yeah, trash that. Okay. Yeah, messing with my coal and stuff. But it is good, though. It is good that we have got this in place because we need all the machines to back up, essentially, in order to make this system work correctly. Let's go check on our alumina solution and aluminum scrap and see about that, about those valves that I was talking about. Going up to this floor. So yeah, see, are these still the same, or did they fix themselves? Yeah, see, I have it set at 82, but watch what happens. Is it ever going to get there? See, it sets to 80.3, and that's the flow rate, which is just over what I need, but not. I don't think it's enough. And it's the same if you have it set on 80 as well. Wow, the flow rate drops to nothing sometimes. Why does that drop to nothing? This is the main water valve, like, this is the water coming in from the train station. Why is that dropping to nothing sometimes? You can see the flow rate doesn't match. It's coming into it's coming out of the pipe. Yeah, see, this is... It does jump up to 80 sometimes, or up to 90. But yeah, it just, yeah, see, it doesn't matter. But if I put it at 80, so 82, drops down to nothing. Give it a second. Why is it dropping down to nothing? Is there no water in there? Like, what is wrong with the flow rate of this? There's literally a pump right here putting pressure on this valve here, but the flow rate's just jumping down to nothing for no reason. But if I put this up to... Didn't even get to adjust it. $83? Look what happens. It goes up to 85. I might have to just do that. Because it is just not... You can hear some of the... Actually, you can hear the smelters turning off and on. This one cannot be adjusted. But yeah, I might have to just turn these up to 83. Oops, I forgot to copy it. Yeah. So it's turning the machines on and off. So, yeah, we'll just have to do that. Just allow that to flow at that slightly higher rate, because if it doesn't work, or if I put too much in it, what'll happen is the system will hydrolock. So it's like a balancing act. But since the valve is not working correctly like it should, I'll have to see about that flow rate, if I can keep that. If I put another set of valves somewhere, or if I put another set of pumps somewhere. Because I put pumps on every single logistics level, which should be more than enough to keep the pressure up. But yeah, see, if I set it to 83, it goes up to 85. But maybe it doesn't do it often enough to make a difference. Oh, I was gonna say, oh, our aluminum scrap has stopped. Nope, it's just because, yeah, of that. Yeah, because if these things run out of water, even for... Oh, I've lost my hands. There we go. If these even run out of water even for a few seconds, that means we're not producing enough. We immediately empty the pipe of alumina solution, because there's no balancing in between there, because it's just a straight pipe, which actually is what you want. If you don't have to put a buffer in between there, you definitely don't want to. You don't need to whatsoever. So, just as long as this always has enough alumina solution to keep it running. Which, as long as this keeps running, yeah, like I said, adjusting that valve might have been the thing to
do. Because, yeah, even though I put... Is this ever going to stop? Oh, it almost stops. Man. But anyway, hopefully that problem is fixed now with the whole water issue and whatnot by upping those valves and whatnot. So now that we got the valves adjusted slightly and whatnot, let's yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory. So let's go to the top here. To the very top. I love the strip lights. I love that that's all lit up now. It's nice. But anyway, so like I said, that is going to be it. Next time, we are going to hopefully finish off the factory by hooking up the aluminum the aluminum ingots now, and the copper ingots to our assemblers to make aluminum sheets and aluminum casings, and we should be able to then from there just hook that to the train station down below. And that'll be that. Of course, we need to put some uploaders in so that we can upload the aluminum sheets and aluminum casings based on how fast they produce. I need to focus on that as well because we can only upload at 240, but the aluminum sheets especially need to be uploaded at the maximum that we can because we're going to be using aluminum sheets for belts in the future. So we definitely need to focus on that. But yeah, here's to hoping that next time this aluminum factory will be complete as far as functional, and then we can finish off making it look good later. Finish off doing the design that I want to do and stuff like that. It's not going to be what I want, but it's going to be closer than what we can accomplish. We'll see what happens. But anyway, like I said, with that, that is going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory. So, yeah, I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see here. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.